So UFC Fight Night, Paulo Costa and Marvin Vettori just wrapped up. It was a very close fight, and of course, if you were paying any attention in the lead up to this fight, the build up to this fight, Paulo Costa came in very overweight. This fight was supposed to happen at 185 pounds, middleweight, where they both fight, obviously. And Paulo Costa came in fight week at like they were saying 218, something around there, just under 220. So clearly not within range of 185 pounds, and they had to do a catch weight. At first, it was supposed to be 195, and then Paulo Costa last minute switches. They agreed last minute to switch to a light heavyweight 205-pound fight, which obviously neither of these guys have fought at that weight class before, not that I know of at least, but they did for this fight. They both weighed in at 205. Marvin was 204, I believe. But, according to Dana White, Marvin Vettori was about 207, 208 in the cage, and Paulo Costa was like 225. So, Paulo Costa is like pretty much getting close to heavyweight territory. The guy is big. For him to weigh 220, 225 in the cage after weighing in at 205, he had to cut some weight to make 205, So, yeah, there was no way Paulo Costa was making 185. No way. So Dana White said he would like to see Paulo Costa fight at 205 from now on. Obviously, I think that's the right move. He looked like he had great energy in there. Yeah, if we start talking about the fight a little bit, the fight itself, Marvin Vettori obviously won with a unanimous decision. Paulo Costa was also deducted a point in the second round from referee Jason Herzog for a low blow, or an eye poke, I believe. It was an eye poke, I think. And it was the first foul that Paulo Costa committed. I thought that was very strange. Of course, maybe Jason Herzog warned him to keep the fingers down, and then he poked him, and maybe that's what caused Herzog to take a point. But I thought that was very strange because it was the first foul Paulo Costa committed in the fight, and it costed him a point, which is a very, very, it's very serious, So he could have won that second round and still would have been 9-9 score in that round. So I actually thought it was going to end up that while I'm watching live. I've only watched the fight once live. I haven't rewatched it again. While I was watching the fight, I kind of thought Paulo Costa might get the nod, or at least have it be a draw due to that point deduction. I thought maybe Paulo Costa would won 3 rounds, and with that point deduction, it'd be a draw. But no, Marvin Vettori on the judges' scorecards, I believe, won 3 rounds, and then plus the point deduction, he won 48-46. But yeah, very interesting fight because Paulo Costa did a lot of damage. He really did a lot of damage to Marvin Vettori, but Vettori was kind of keeping the higher volume, higher pace. Vettori also had very good moments where, most of the time when Costa was landing big shots on Vettori, it was one shot at a time, a big right hand, a big right body kick, big right head kick. Those right head kicks, body kicks, low kicks, Paulo Costa has got some damn good kicks with his right leg and his right hand. He had a couple nice little left hands too, nice left hook if I remember correctly, some good body work here and there if I remember correctly, but definitely plenty of beautiful, powerful overhand rights. Yeah, Paulo Costa and this is the first time we've seen Costa go 5 rounds. Very impressive stuff. Very impressive stuff. The guy is obviously built like a bodybuilder. He's yoked, he's jacked. And obviously, the more muscle you have, the more oxygen that muscle demands. So, there was moments in the fight where you'd see Paulo getting kind of tired, and you'd think, man, maybe he's going to gas out here in a minute. And the next thing you know, he's exploding again. And that's something the commentary team made a comment on as well. And that just goes to show that he clearly put the work in. As far as conditioning goes, because clearly he didn't put the work in to get the weight down, but maybe he couldn't just because of how much muscle is on him. Maybe 185 is just too long gone for Paulo, because he looked in shape, man. It looked like he really train that lactic capacity, that lactic power. You know, he was anytime, like I said, you thought he was getting tired, it seemed like he buffered that lactic, and his body was just ready to perform another bout of, you know, high high energy. So very impressive stuff from Paulo Costa, despite getting the loss. And like I said, Vettori, like I said, Paulo Costa, when he was landing big shots, it was mostly one shot at a time, maybe two, if that. Marvin Vettori was putting together combinations. I mean, he was piecing together, you know, 4 or 5 punch combos at times. I would have liked to see Marvin mix in the kicks a little bit more, but obviously the boxing is you know, his weapon of choice. He also mixed in some elbows here and there, but definitely it was a heavy boxing approach from Marvin Vettori. Very good head movement. Like I said, good pace, good volume, and good multi-punch combos. I mean, you know, very fast combos too. Fast hands from Vettori, and you gotta praise the guy's toughness. I mean, this guy has to have one of the best chins in the UFC right now. Like those head kicks he was taking, all those shots he was taking from a guy 20 pounds heavier than him. I mean, very, very, very impressive chin on Marvin Vettori. And like I said, all around, it was a really good fight. It's hard, you know, going into the fight. I think a lot of people obviously were not happy with Paulo Costa for the antics, for missing weight, all that. But man, hopefully he just continues to fight at 205 like Dana White has suggested, and puts on performances like that one, because man, that was a hell of a performance. And like I said, I honestly thought Paulo Costa was going to get the nod there. I mean, I really am not mad at Marvin Vettori winning a decision. I think it was totally fine. And I never checked the punch stats, the strike stats. I didn't see all the significant strikes. I think there's a good chance Marvin Vettori had plenty of more significant strikes than Paulo Costa had. But man, Costa was doing some damage. Costa was doing some damage, and there was a few moments in the fight, like particularly in the second round, I think, where Costa was close to a finish. I mean, Costa was close to a finish. Of course, there was moments where Marvin got close as well, but Costa was landing big shots. And like I said, when that fight went to the decision, I thought, Paulo might get the nod. I thought maybe it'd be a draw, like I said, just due to the point deduction. But I thought Paulo Costa might have won 3 out of 5 rounds, maybe rounds 2, 5, and then one of rounds 3 and 4. But yeah, I don't know. Very interesting fight. Very good fight. I'd love to see Paulo get back in there, because this is the first fight we've seen since he fought Adesanya over a year ago. So, you know, I'd love to see Paulo Costa get back in there with some more contenders, because he clearly proved, I mean, obviously he's moving up to 205, so there's tons of fresh matchups up there at 205 for Paulo. Let me know who you guys would like to see up next against Paulo Costa at light heavyweight. I mean, I would love to see, I don't know, a Yuri Prochazka matchup. Could we even get that? That would be tremendous. That would be tremendous. Or the loser of Blachowicz and Glover, you know, or the loser of Rakic and Smith, or the winner of that fight. Any of those guys would be such a fresh matchup against Paulo Costa, and that'd be a hell of a fight to look forward to. As far as Marvin Vettori goes, bouncing off the loss to Israel Adesanya, bouncing off that loss, getting a win against Paulo Costa. Fumbling over my words a little bit here, but man, big win for Marvin there, and he's back in the win column, obviously maintaining that top 5 ranking. And you know, him and Darren Till was a fight that got scrapped. Why not rebook it? I'd love to see that fight. Darren Till, though, I think he's lost 3 or 4 out of his last 5. So, I think lost 4 out of his last 5. Lost to, Whitaker, Brunson, Woodley, and somebody else. He beat Gastelum. But regardless, Till has had a little bit of a rough skid lately. So I don't know if the UFC would like to throw Till in against a guy coming off a win like that, but it would be a great fight nonetheless. It was a fight that was already booked, scheduled to happen, but maybe they'd like to get Till a little bounce back fight. But, you know, Marvin can fight anybody in that division, and it'd be a great fight. So, let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you think should be next for each of those guys, and what did you think of the fight? I thought it was a great fight. Like I said, I thought either guy could have got the decision. Really not too mad at it either way. But let me know what you guys think. Hit subscribe for more videos like this one. Leave a like if you liked the video, and thank you very much